Zach,
Yeah.
I've told people for years, I think how other societies and countries make you serve in the army for a year when you're 18. I think should have to work some sort of hospitality job. I think it is the most character building thing you can ever do.
I've also met some of the best people I've ever met in my entire life.
Absolutely.
I've had the funniest stories from it. The cash is incredible. You're really sacrificing your like weekends and holidays to do it, but you become like a family with the people you work with, and you either love it or you hate it. Like my boyfriend all the time, he's always like, I don't think I could ever do it. And I love him to death. He's definitely giving host material. He's not giving service. Oh. So there's different like levels to it. Do you know I bartended for a little bit too? So bad at it, like
really,
which is I thought they'd be very like similar. I think it's way more intense bartending. I one time made a margarita for a woman, and she took a sip of it at the bar I was working at, and she said, "This is the worst drink I've ever had in my entire life." I'm gagged. I'm like, whoa. First of all, relax. It was a blackberry margarita. Can't be that bad. And I was like, oh my god, can I make you something else? She said, no, I'll just have water. Sat there for an hour. I'm like, should I just quit?
You ruined her buzz. It was so bad. She said, I would rather not even just drink sheer lighter fluid. I'm just going to drink water. Wow.
Yeah, no, yeah. And that was a sign. I was like, let me just keep trying with this. But no, bartending wasn't my jam. I'm definitely a server. I like to be able to leave the table, hide in the walk-in, flirt with somebody, steal some ham, get
steal
back
some
on the
ham.
floor.
There was nothing worse when you get yelled at because you're coming through the pass and you're like wolfing down some truffle fries and your manager's yelling at you like, don't eat on the floor. And you're like, Mark, I'm fucking starving. Nothing worse.
Nothing worse. We had like the best bread ever at this restaurant I worked at called Joe's. And they had like these like soup canisters too. So I'd be like sopping up tomato, basil, and bread. I'm like triple sad. I'm like, let's fucking do it. Let's go for it.
Yeah. You're fighting for your life. You're trying to get crumbs at any turn. You're starving. You're on your feet. I mean, what kind of shoes would you wear when you were serving?
They used to give us those fancy booklets that came into the restaurant. I bought one. Those shoes I broke in like 6 months. They were just like holes in them. I would get Walmart shoes on repeat every 4 months or so because they were $20. I'd just flip them. Yeah. Were you a clog girl?
I was not a clog girl, okay? Because I'm a heavy set gal. So in the clog, you hear me thumping. It sounds like a fucking bull in a china shop.
I got you.
Okay, I didn't need to I already had big tits coming to your table, going 100 miles an hour. I used to wear Crocs. They made these cute Mary Jane Crocs. Because I worked in like fine dining. So I would get these cute things. You couldn't even tell they were Crocs. And they were the fucking comfiest shoes. When I was working behind the bar, when I would like hose things down, they'd get wet. And then it would just be like wet, squishy Crocs behind the bar. But I loved them.
I did a fine dining summer one time. It was a summer gig and it was all outdoor. It was like aprons from like the waist to the ankle. Yeah. It was like a blue and white stripe long sleeve. I was pouring sweat, serving patio, and I quit after one shift because we were not allowed to transfer tables. And this couple wanted to watch the sunset. Mind you, I was 19. I was very young, immature, but it was a Friday night. They sat down at 2, stayed till 7, and I couldn't leave. And they had closed out, but until they left and I bussed that table, I couldn't pay anyone. It was like a power trip thing.
Oh, fucking hate that.
And I was like, you will not take my 19-year-old summer away. And I don't regret it because looking back on it, like the money would have been gone anyways. Yeah. But, oh my God, fine dining is a different level of service though.
It's a different level, but I could thrive because I loved like memorizing a menu. Like I enjoyed talking about
specials?
The food. Oh, if we had foie gras in there, I'm like, let me tell you about the bone marrow jus sauce. Like I loved that shit. I like a sales. Yeah. I like a sales pitch. Okay. That is where I get off on that. So I enjoyed fine dining, but I was also like, let's loosen up a bit. You know what I mean? Like, let's be crazy at the table. I know you guys ordered caviar, but let's be wild, you know?
Well, they need that personality kind of in that environment because then people are probably seeking you out because you're the fun one.
I was the fun one. How was Olive Garden?
Oh, I loved it, but I was so young. It was my first serving job ever. My mom worked in restaurants her entire life, so I knew this schedule. I knew the cash. I knew like how, I don't know, the addiction of making that kind of money. But I loved Olive Garden. I met great friends there. After working in different restaurants, I realized how bad it was money-wise. Right. But at 18 years old, like you're making $350 on a Friday night. Like what's there to complain
You're
about?
basically, fucking Elon Musk. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's insane.
Do it all again on a double on Saturday. Like you're good for
doubles.
it.
People will never understand doubles. Doing a brunch double into like a Saturday night, like pre-theater rush dinner was like fucking insane.
Yeah, but you were doing it in New York.
I was doing it in New York.
That's the creme de la creme of serving.
It was, and I worked at a place where we would get people. It was like kind of close to the theater district. It wasn't like high fine dining. It was like middle ground, like real chef driven. And we would have these bitches come, like Bridge and Tunnel, come from Jersey, and they would want Cosmos, right? That's what they want before they're going to see Aladdin or the Lion King. And we would, the owner of this restaurant refused to have just cranberry juice. And everything had to be fresh squeezed, which, hey, I like the integrity of the fresh ingredients. And I'll never forget one day, I had 40 women from New Jersey screaming that they wanted Cosmos. And I only had like maybe a quarter of a pint of this, like, you know, it took me 6.5 hours to fucking press these cranberries. And I literally grabbed the owner of our restaurant by the throat and I go to the fucking bodega and get Ocean Spray or we're not gonna make it. And he looked at me and he was like, yeah, whatever you want. Like I said, we're going up in flames. I can't make 55 fucking Cosmos with this fresh squeezed bullshit.
I've never even thought how you even squeeze
a cranberry. It's a nightmare. Okay, it shouldn't be happen. Just like you shouldn't milk a cat, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, and a Cosmo is pretty like standard across the board. Like everyone's going to be serving Cosmos. If you can't have a stock of cranberry juice fresh squeezed, get the Ocean Spray.
If you're 10 blocks, we were 3 blocks from Times Square. If you're 10 blocks from Times Square, you should have Ocean Spray in the fucking fridge.
I actually grew up really close to the bogs of Ocean Spray.
Really?
And my dream is to get into one of those, like, have you seen those ads when they get in what are those, galoshes?
Yeah.
Sure. And I want to get right in those cranberry bogs.
Yeah,
swim around a little bit.
Do you do it barefoot or you have boots on?
Oh, I'd have to be boots on.
Right. Oh, because what are they? They're like waiters.
Yeah, they're like a little waiter moment.
Yeah.
And then I'll just squeeze them by hand in there.
Oh, you squeeze them by hand.
I don't know. We'll have to figure it out.
I don't know. Should we go do that? Maybe it's like a little sensual.
I know. And I've like reached out and everything. I'm like, I'd love to come make a video here or do something.
Oh, you reached out. Ocean Spray.
Ocean Spray.
Is it Minute Maid or Ocean Spray? Is it the same thing?
Oh, I don't know. Ocean Spray is definitely the one for cranberry.
Okay, great. Well, Ocean Spray. Fucking call Zach. I mean, this is insane. This is insane.
Ocean Spray.